Alzheimer's and dementia are devastating diseases. So when a world-leading health researcher says you can reduce your risk, it's worth listening.
Well, Alzheimer's is another one of those health concerns that people are very worried about, and we are most certainly seeing a very substantial increase in the incidence of Alzheimer's, which is not entirely surprising because the same toxic food environment that is causing so many other healthcare problems is also contributing to Alzheimer's, both directly but also indirectly because of the increase in diabetes. Now, diabetes overlaps tremendously with Alzheimer's. One of the reasons being that IDE, insulin degrading enzyme, is involved in both disease states, and if you become insulin resistance is now inextricably linked to the development of the pathology within the brain that leads to Alzheimer's disease. And that tells you right away that nutrition can do an enormous amount to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's, because diabetes is easily preventable with diet and lifestyle, exercise, if you know what you're doing. So again, these are huge and rapidly growing public health problems of Alzheimer's could be easily prevented through lifestyle modification programs. Now, the way to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's and to reduce the burden of Alzheimer's at the public health level is, forget about relying on this rather decrepit and discredited pharmaceutical model. Change your lifestyle, which means more physical exercise, higher nutrient density, and reduced glycemic load, that is, fewer digestible carbohydrates.
So what are those lifestyle programs that Dr. Clayton mentions? Above all, they include a diet with foods that are high in anti-inflammatory nutrients. Because what's known as chronic subclinical inflammation underlies most age-related disease, including Alzheimer's. And that's confirmed by leading authorities. Low-grade inflammation is associated with everything from heart disease and diabetes to Alzheimer's and arthritis, and may even be the cause of most chronic diseases. And as Scientific American says, inflammation is an underlying contributor to virtually every chronic disease. Arthritis, Crohn's disease, diabetes and depression, along with major killers such as heart disease and stroke. And now the connection between this type of inflammation and cancer has moved to center stage. As Dr. Paul Clayton himself says, if chronic inflammation is allowed to run unchecked, tissues become dysfunctional and then fail. And that's essentially a definition of aging and, of course, disease. And if you're around 50 and over, you will have accumulated damage from this type of inflammation because it's cumulative. So to confirm, if this type of inflammation is not reduced, it can lead to dementia, heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, sexual dysfunction, osteoporosis, and skin aging, because aging on the outside is a reflection on your condition inside. So to help reduce this type of inflammation, you need high levels of anti-inflammatory nutrients in your diet, which is why Dr. Clayton has produced a simple cookbook featuring anti-inflammatory foods, and it's why Dr. Clayton has combined anti-inflammatory nutrients in a daily supplement, the sorts of nutrients identified from people who live a long and healthy life. The product he designed is called NutriShield, and it combines rich levels of vitamins and minerals with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant nutrients. They include flavonoids from green tea, and grapeseed extract and curcumin, soy isoflavones, omega-3, carotenoids like lutein and lycopene, and much more. It combines lessons from the very latest medical research with nutrients that have been identified in the world's longest-lived, healthiest societies. So go now to NutriShield.com, where you'll find that this cookbook is free with your first purchase.